NBA Western Conference seeding predictions.
Let's go.
15 through 1. 15, I got the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
Number 14, the OKC Thunder. Number 13, the Spurs. And I'm going to start giving a sentence after each one, but it didn't make sense if I started with Houston. So I'll start with OKC. OKC 14, what do we really expect? And I think Houston's even worse than them. Spurs, Keldon Johnson's their best player.
God bless.
But they do have Greg Popovich as a coach, so I think they'll be slightly a bit more competitive than these other teams. Number 12, the Utah Jazz. Even though they're in rebuild, I think they have a lot of good players. They do. Conley, Beasley, Vando, Markkanen, Olenek. They're not great, but they're good. Colin Sexton, Ochai Agbaji, Jordan Clarkson, THC.
A lot of those guys won't be there.
Not possibly. We have to see. 11, Los Angeles Lakers. Durability concerns, depth concerns. I think they missed
11?
the playoffs.
Don't say nothing. Let him
11?
finish. Let him
Yes.
finish. Let him finish.
11?
Yes.
Him finish.
We got better.
Let him finish, Drew. Please let him
Really?
finish. Let him finish. Let him finish. Please, just let him finish. I beg you.
I want to hear. I want to hear.
Are
Go
we
ahead.
serious?
I know
Are we serious?
I can. Yeah. I just want to know how high this team is.
Number
too.
10, the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
I see where this
Okay.
is going.
Dame,
Where are the Kings?
Stop.
Or the
Just let him
Suns. Or
finish.
the Suns.
Can
That's
you
what I'm
hold
waiting.
up? Can I
do your thing.
finish?
I want you to
My
finish.
goodness. Number 9, the Sacramento Kings. I think they have a good starting lineup. They have some good depth. I think Mike Brown gives them a defensive identity. He's a proven head coach before, and he's been in the system with Golden State. He's going to bring over that winning culture. Number 8, I have the Phoenix Suns.
I like
Robert Sarver situation, DeAndre Ayton not bought, and I think he is disgruntled and wants out of Phoenix. Monty Williams seems to be losing the locker room somewhat. CP3 aging, and I don't love their depth. Number 7, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be out a while, and that does impact them. I know they won a lot of games last season, even with their injuries, but
Tape is out.
I think a lot of teams got better in the West. Number 6, Dallas Mavericks. Do I need to say more? Luka Doncic. Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming back, gives them a sharpshooter. Christian Wood, 6th Man of the Year candidate. He can definitely win that award. Rim protection with JaVale McGee, which is something they needed since last season. Number 5, the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson is healthy. He's committed to both sides of the floor. Their starting lineup is one of the better ones in the NBA, and their depth is out of this world. I really can't name 6 teams that have a better starting lineup than the Pelicans. They have 3 all-stars in B.I., CJ, and Zion in the starting lineup. Number 4, the Golden State Warriors. Really, the statement for them is they're just worried about the playoffs. I think that they'll coast in the regular season, rest up, be healthy for the playoffs. That's all they're worried about. Number 3, Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi and PG are back.
I didn't hear this one team
Me
yet.
too.
I figured.
Me
I
too.
know.
Most
I know.
loaded team in the NBA for sure, and I think even with Kawhi and PG game managing or load managing, their depth is still good enough to win games when guys are out. So I think that puts them as a top 3 seed. Number 2, the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. back. Good free agent moves. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Bruce Brown. I'm very excited to watch Denver, and I think they're going to be a legit contender in the West. And number 1 is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're going to be the first seed in the Western Conference. The Rudy Gobert addition, Anthony Edwards leap, Jaden McDaniels leap. I mean, this team was the number 1 offense in the NBA last season. And now you just got a generational defender in Rudy Gobert. There's going to be a top 5 offense, top 10, top 5 defense. They can now play aggressively defensively because they have Rudy Gobert in the back end. And according to just when you measure their length of their team, they have the most lengthy team in the NBA in terms of wingspans and heights. They're going to be a menace defensively, and I think they're going to be very good, one of the best teams offensively. This team is going to be number 1 in the Western Conference.
Okay, I'll run it off. So 15, I got the Jazz. I think they're just
last.
Yeah, I think a lot of their guys will either sit or be ready to be traded. That's why I don't think a lot of them will be there by December, January. So they'll trade a lot of the good players they have just for more draft capital. 14, the Spurs. Do I need to say more? They just have Keldon Johnson. They have a lot of young guys. I am looking forward to Trey Jones running the offense, so I think that's going to be a bright thing. 13, OKC. You know, they go as far as SGA, Josh Giddey, Luka Doncic takes them. He's going to be out for the season. SGA gets hurt a lot in the season, so that's going to be tough. But when he plays, They're pretty competitive.
You're in on the Rockets.
Number 12, I do have the Rockets.
Interesting.
I like the draft that they had this year. I like that Josh Christopher they picked up last year. He was a good piece. Jalen Green, he picked it up late in the season. So I think they'll be good. I think KPJ, he'll be a better player than he was last year. I think he'll make modest improvements this season. They have a cool roster. It'll be an exciting young team.
Are you in on Tari Eason?
I am indeed in on Tari Eason. Number 11, I have the Kings. You know, I feel like they made modest advances in the offseason, but nothing crazy to put over these next two teams I'm about to name. They still don't have that guy, De'Aaron Fox. I'm still not high on. Sabonis is a good player, but I'm also not high on him either. Number 10, I have the Lakers. As much as they got better, the roster still has no wing defense. LeBron and AD, you're going to have to count on to play 60 to 65 games. I don't know if you can do that. AD just got hurt the other day in a preseason game. And I know we ask this question every year, but how's LeBron going to look in year? You know, it's a question you always got to ask.
We're good.
Even if he looks great, he's going to miss a lot of games.
Number 9, I have Portland. I love Chauncey Billups. I love the addition that he brought in. I love the defense for Portland and what they brought in. I think me and Joel was talking about this the other day too, I think like 2 weeks ago. The starting five is going to have to put in a lot of work for Portland, but Dame is quote-unquote healthy for the first time in 3 years, so that's going to be good. And I think he has something to prove this year. Number 8, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. Same thing like you said, Jaren Jackson's going to be out for a long time, and that's going to really put some damage on this team, and I feel like the tape is out on this team. Number 7, the Phoenix Suns. I still think they have the system, they have the coach, and they still have the roster to win a lot of regular season games, enough to keep them in playoff contention. Number 6, I have the Pelicans. It's still a mystery, as talented as they are. It's still a mystery what the starting five is going to look like, what the all guys playing, what the defense is going to look like, but they're talented enough to still be a lock for the playoffs. Number 5, I have Dallas. I'm really high on this roster. I think this is a really great roster surrounded around Luka. You bring Tim Hardaway Jr. back. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. We just talked about it coming off the bench with Christian Wood, and they put 3 shooters out there with with 3 because Wood's coming off the bench with Finney Smith, Hardaway Jr., and Bullock if he is starting. I think that's fine next to Luka. Number 4, I have the Warriors. Same thing you said. They're going to coast through the regular season. They're going to let a lot of their young guys play. Kerr's a mastermind at this. He's just going to let the old guys rest and get ready for the playoffs. That's what's important. Number 3, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. I do have them.
That's low.
Okay. I have them at 3. I think they'll win a lot of regular season games, and this is a team that's well-rounded to win. Gobert usually doesn't get hurt. Number 2, I have the Clippers at 2. I think they'll game manage, but I still think Kawhi and PG have a little bit something to prove, and I think that roster is just too deep for them not to be a top 3 seed. And number 1, I have the Denver Nuggets. The Joker won 47 games by himself, bringing in Jamal Murray, MPJ, KCP, Bruce Brown. That's only going to uplift this team. I think they can possibly win 60 games if they stay healthy. So
60.
I got Denver as the number 1 seed in the West.
That's insanely low for Minnesota.
It's not.
Well,
3rd seed.
unfortunately for me.
Their floor is the 1st seed.
What the fuck?
Does it make sense?
All right, here we go. So number 15 for me, I do have the Houston Rockets. I understand where you're coming from, putting them at 12 because they do have some young pieces. I just don't think it's their time.
Their starting lineup is not better than Utah's.
I agree with that.
I did say under the assumption. I think.
Well, I don't know. It really depends. I think Houston for me is a wild card because if Jalen Green takes that second-year leap, Şengün I love a lot. Tari Eason looks good.
And Jabari.
Hold on, before you continue, knock off Utah's starting 5.
Conley.
Clarkson won't start.
Huh?
I don't think Clarkson's going to start.
Conley, Beasley,
Sexton. Oh, you don't think
Markkanen, Vando, and Olenek.
Okay, so what we got? KPJ at this point, him and Mike Conley, same
It's
level.
the same thing.
Jalen Green is better than Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
Tyree Easton, he's a rookie, so voided. I think Laurie is better. Their 4. Who's going to be their 4? Who's Houston's 4? Oh, Jabari Smith, rookie, so voided, but he can play just as good as Vanderbilt.
He's injured right now, though.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. And Şengün versus who? Who you said the 5? Kessler?
Olenek.
Who?
Kelly
Olenek at the
Olynyk.
5?
Olenek.
He'll be traded.
But I think their bench, too, is better. Yeah.
All right, so to continue, number 14, I do have the Thunder. I do think that they want to put themselves in a position to have a very good draft pick. Not that they're going to go out of their way. I just don't think their team is good enough. You're right there, bro.
Bro, your shit's got a whiskey dick.
Number 13, I do have the Spurs. You guys hit it
You
perfectly.
sucking anything up?
No,
Bro, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Give me that other straw, bro. This is crazy to me.
Number 13, I do have the Spurs. It's Keldon Johnson and a bunch of guys that
Hey,
are not.
respect some
I know.
guys on
I know.
that team.
I guess you're right, but because
Trey Jones breakout year.
Spurs are going to come after. I like Keldon Johnson. He
No,
was
it's
one of
Trey
my most
Jones
underrated
breakout
guys,
year.
but I understand that this roster is not set up compared to the rest of these teams. Number 12, I do have the Utah Jazz. Just because yes, the talent that they have is not great, but they do have a bunch of, like Joel said, good ball players, and that's the strongest word I can use for them. Number 11, the Sacramento Kings. They did do a good job to better this team, give it some depth. Bringing in Keegan Murray, people were skeptical. He's come in preseason and also in Summer League. He really showed out. Summer League, you take with a grain of salt, of course. But listen, he looks to have some potential. One of the early favorites to win Rookie of the Year. But I do have the Kings at 11. Number 10, I have the Blazers. It's understandable why people are. You guys have them at 9, both of you, correct?
Cool.
I have them at
Blazers 10, 9.
Blazers? I have them
Yes.
at 9.
10. The Kings are better than them for me.
I just want
Dame
to.
for me
I'm going
just
to trust
puts
Dame.
over, yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly how I'd put it. Number 9, Phoenix Suns. This team worries me. I won't lie. After seeing,
Worries you.
They
The
do.
Phoenix guy. Interesting. Very interesting.
I faded that opinion. I faded it. I faded it. I will be very open and honest about that. CP3. What version are we going to get of that? Of Chris Paul? That's my main concern, truthfully. Jay Crowder is probably not going to return. You guys mentioned it with DeAndre Ayton, that whole situation. And Robert Sarver perfectly said, the organization right now just doesn't seem to be in the right space. Number 8, my Los Angeles Lakers. I figure that's the high. 8? Would you think I was going to have them higher?
I did.
Yeah,
Honestly.
so I
That's
figured
pretty high for them.
this is where 11 was low, disrespectful. That's all I'm going to say. Number 8, I figured that's the highest I could go, but the lowest that I wanted to go also because LeBron and Anthony Davis, they just need to get in. Let them get in. Give us a chance. They just need to stay healthy. We did get better. The fact that we brought in Pat Bev, the fact that we have Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench, Austin Reeves is a good bench player piece. Kendrick Nunn, God willing, he's healthy. That's a good addition. Bro, I'm being sincere.
You're being optimistic.
That's all I can be. All right, Los
you could have kept
Angeles.
Kendrick
8
Nunn
seed.
name out your mouth.
Nah.
Pat
He's
Bev.
essential. Off the bench.
Pat Bev gets injured a lot.
So, and not really last season.
Bro said so.
That was the first season that he's been healthy. Yeah.
Okay, and he carried the Wolves to the playoffs. Next, number 7, I do have the Grizzlies. I unfortunately wanted to put them higher, but Jaren Jackson injury sucks, and it seems as if teams were on to them late in the season, but they put up a good series against Golden State. They seem to give Golden State the best series, I should say, outside of the Celtics. And that was also without Ja Morant, but I am skeptical about them. Number 6.
We beat them about 40 with or with.
Oh, for sure.
With
You
Ja,
guys
without Ja.
definitely were pretty dominant throughout the entire playoffs. Number 6, the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I don't have the Dallas Mavericks higher because, one, Jalen Brunson's not going to be there, and he was a big piece for them too. Christian Wood, it was a solid addition. We saw him have success in the preseason, but I'm not really sure how that situation is going to play out. And I feel like Luka he's going to get to the playoffs regardless. I don't think that the Mavs are a play-in team. They're a lock to make the playoffs, but this is a very Luka Doncic-centric team. And so that's why I have a team like the New Orleans Pelicans over them at the number 5 spot. You said it perfectly. They have one of the best starting 5s in the association. Now you add Zion into this mix, and I know you saw that clip of him talking about defense.
I actually didn't.
I know you did.
No, I promise I did. I haven't paid much attention.
Because when you're seeing your team hone in on defense the way that the Pelicans did last season, it is going to motivate a guy like Zion who is not regular and is going to put a extra booster into his back and really get him going on
Did he
that
say
side
that?
of the ball. Yes, he did.
I didn't see it. So.
No, offensively, you know what you're going to get from Zion. Zion's going to be the dominant ball player that he was before the injury, and now he's in even better shape than he was before. This Pelicans team is going to be one to be reckoned with, and Zion's going to be in that MVP conversation as well. Number 4, Minnesota Timberwolves. And this is a vast
That
improvement
doesn't
from
get
last
the
year.
insanely low comment.
That's why
You
I
saw me roll my eyes.
that's why
I got that's insane.
I decided to hold my placement of the Wolves because I knew it was a spot lower than yours. But this isn't any disrespect. I mean, the Timberwolves obviously
The West is
are
tough,
a good
man.
They have a great roster, and good's not complimentary enough. They have a great roster. I just look at the Clippers, who I have at 3, that have a better roster than they do. Golden State, who is just a overall better team than they are.
I don't know about that.
And then my number 1 team, the Denver Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are going to be one of those teams that are every single night are going to play 10 out of 10 basketball. And by 10 out of 10 basketball, I mean they're going to give their maximum effort every single game because they have something to prove. Jamal Murray has something to prove. MPJ has something to prove. You mentioned the addition of KCP, Bruce Brown coming into the mix. Bones Highland showed something as a rookie last season.
6-man.
This team, with Jokic at the forefront, is going to be the number 1 seed.
I'll fuck with it.
I'll do my best to not repeat what you guys all said. 15 through 12 in the West is pretty ugly. It gets a lot uglier, especially compared to the East. I feel like Thunder, Rockets, Spurs, Jazz, however you want to have it. At least the Thunder and Rockets have guys to build around with SGA. Rockets with Jalen Green. You know, they have some pieces there. Spurs and Jazz are in no man's land right now. I mean, the teams aren't good. I do think the Jazz eventually, whether it's the start of the season, trade deadline, get off a lot of these veterans because they want to have the number 1 pick, at least a top 2 pick to get one of these generational type players we talked about earlier in the show. But 11 up, that's really when things get interested. And I think that last play-in is going to be between the Kings and Blazers. Right now, I have the Kings at 11, Blazers at 10. Similar to what you said, Riv, I just trust Dame. You know, Simon's got his bread. Dame's coming back off an injury. I'm going to trust him over the Kings, even though I do like the moves, bringing in Kevin Huerter, drafting Keegan Murray. Herter, sorry. I thought he has a little accent on it.
It's Herter.
Isn't he like German or some shit?
It's Herter, though.
No, he's white.
Oh, I thought he was like German.
Well, there's white Germans.
I'm a white German, actually.
Well, I'm talking about like.
No, he's like the
on, man.
American white.
Come on.
Kevin
I know what
Huerter
you meant.
and Keegan Murray. Keegan had a great
Trolling.
summer league. He was really good in the preseason as well. I know that was someone who probably got the most shit from being drafted that high, and he's playing really well. 10 Blazers, I mentioned. 9 out of the Lakers. I just couldn't put them in that top 8 with the other teams above them. You have them at 8. I have them at 9. Bron and AD are going to get you into the play-in at a minimum, but I
Are
do.
they at this point?
I worry about them staying healthy for those 60, 65 plus games. And if they are in a play-in and do have to play against the Kings or the Blazers, even maybe the Suns, they still have a pretty good chance. But I think for the regular season, with their age, we don't know what's going to happen with Russell Westbrook too.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to have them at 9. At 8, the Suns. And I feel like this could be a trap because we all have the Suns really low. I feel like we're just all worn out on them. CP3, another year older, DeAndre and his drama. Moving on to 7, I'm the lowest on the Mavericks. I have the Mavs here at 7. I know how great Luka is. I know you seem to like the roster a lot more than I do. I know Luka is so ball dominant that you don't really need other playmakers, but outside of Dinwiddie, they don't really have another playmaker. If something happens to either of them, it's all on Luka. He's done it year in and year out, not doubting him. I think they'll make the playoffs without a doubt.
I'm smitten over this roster.
I just don't like them as much as the other
Really?
6 teams.
I mean, you got Dorian, obviously. Christian
I just love
Wood,
the spacing
JaVale.
around
Yeah,
him.
Bullock. I get it.
Bullock.
You got the shooting for sure.
They
I
have
just
McKinley
think
right though.
Yeah, that moves me a ton.
Did you just look that up?
I have him at the 7th seed. I don't.
I see him on his computer. I'm like, maybe he's cooking something up right now.
He looked up McKinley right.
At 6,
Yo, do you guys smell
He had
that?
10
It
assists in
smells
the
like
preseason.
something's burning.
I do smell that.
I do smell it too.
Hope everything's all right.
Yeah, everything's good upstairs.
I think so.
Okay.
What if we just all go out together
Right now.
like soldiers on the pod?
That'd
That'd
be
be a
Please.
shame.
This
That'd be-
We'll never
episode
get
would
it
never
out.
drop.
We'll never get it out.
That'd be crazy.
6.
Imagine Joel while he's burning to a crisp. Just gotta get this out real quick to the fans.
Get the Timberwolves number
That's
1 seed
crazy.
in. Jesus, God bless. 6. I got the Pels. I do have the Grizzlies at 5, 1 spot over them. I like the Pels a lot, man. I think this team with Zion is really good. I think they surprised some people last year, taking the Suns to 6 games. They were in damn near every game. They were one of the more gritty teams, I think, in the entire NBA. And I understand the Jaren Jackson injury. And maybe there is tape out on the Grizzlies now, but they showed without their best player to win a ton of games. Jaren Jackson does different things than Ja Moran, obviously, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But Brandon Clark was phenomenal for them, especially in the playoffs. He was really good. Brandon Clark was really good. So I think he could step in, obviously not have the same type of impact that Jaren Jackson's going to have. But I think this is a really deep team. It's a good coach team. They showed to play really good against the Warriors. They're a team that could beat anyone, but could also probably get beat on any given night. I have them 1 spot above the Pels. At 4, I have the Timberwolves. They're a really good team. They're really good, bro. I get it.
not rude.
They're really good. They're a top
Bro, you
4
had
seed.
them 1. Like,
They're
we
a
should be shaking
contender.
our head at
They're
you.
going to be winning at least
I'm gonna
1,
be right.
maybe 2 playoff series.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't even mad he put him 1.
I wasn't
I'm like,
either.
I can see it.
The
No,
only-
the only
the
reason
only
I'm getting
issue-
mad is because we're showing them respect. Making
The
them
only
top
issue
4
is
seed
they
in
have
the
to be
West.
good all season.
Like,
for this
for
agenda, like if
80
he had them at like the
straight
3
games.
seed or 4 seed, if they were struggling the first couple months, like
No, they
put them
have
at the
to be
4 seed.
80 straight
Yeah,
games of
they have
good.
to be really good, really quick. I have faith in them, with
bro,
bringing in
still
Gobert,
Simmons.
Cat, and Edwards. But the top 3, Clippers at 3, just worry about the health a little bit. Kawhi, Paul George, especially Kawhi. How is he going to look back-to-backs any given night? To the Nuggets, though. Rev, you said it perfectly. Jokic won 40-plus games with a really bad roster. Jamal Murray, I feel fine with. A torn ACL. It's a big injury. He'll get back from it. Michael Porter Jr. has had back injuries since college. It's going to keep happening. It's unfortunate because when he's on the court, he's an electrifying player. He's a guy that can play both sides. It's just right now, he hasn't been able to get over that back injury. And he's a key contributor to this team. But I think in the regular season, if he does stay healthy, they'll be a top 2 seed. But number 1, Golden State Warriors, the best system in basketball. They're a dynasty. One of the best coaches, one of the best players. I'm praying on their downfall, but I respect them. They got everything you need.
Unlike other people.
The Draymond situation, I did this before it came out. Maybe they drop a spot, but I would still feel pretty confident about them being the 1 seed.
The Warriors were the 4th seed with Kevin Durant.
Draymond got hurt.
That year?
Oh, you talking about... What the fuck are you talking about with Kevin Durant for? It was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, with the stacked ass roster, they were the 4th seed.
Last year we were 3rd, and Draymond missed hella games.
Okay.
Clay didn't play for a portion of the game.
And that's another thing we have to take into
And
account.
hold on,
Clay is
why
about
did
to
you
be better.
put your mouth on my straw?
Bro, are you serious? Who really cares?
What the fuck, though?
Take a sip.
Dude, I just
I
had
drunk
a sip.
it. No, but I'm saying I drunk first, and then you put your mouth on it
Bro,
right
I
after.
just wanted a quick sip.
That's why I looked at him. I was like,
Bro,
what the hell?
all right, I guess I'll apologize, but I just wanted
I thought you were
going
going
to
to open it, though, and take a
that's
sip.
so much work. I mean, I just wanted a quick sip. Would have made noise.
No, I don't care about the noise. I didn't think you were going to do
Dude,
that
I'm
part.
sorry, I guess.
I guess? You didn't, what the fuck do you mean?
That was OD.
Yeah, you see that shit, right? He just, he asked me, I get a sip.
Not like,
I'm like, yeah.
it's not what you did wasn't crazy, but the fact that you didn't ask,
I asked, can I have a sip? He said,
not
yeah.
from the straw.
Yeah, you didn't, like, if you'd have been like, yo, bro, can I,
So I supposed to go 3-step question to
all in the
for a
can
drink?
with it, drinking on my
Dude,
drink?
so what? Now that people...
Nobody shares spit.
No one probably would have said anything until right now. Get ready. 8-9 comments about it.
You really think our fans don't notice every little thing they do? They notice every little thing I do.
It doesn't really matter.
Fucking clown.
They've noticed you touching me, bro. They've noticed it. I've seen the comments.
I don't
They've
be
seen. They'd be
touching
like,
you.
"Yo, what's
you
wrong
be
with
touching
the
them all.
bag?"
What are you talking
Y'all got a
about?
fetish
I'm
over
trying
there.
to tell them.
Little freaky shit.
I told you
going
the tension, the
there's a little
sexual
freaky
tension
shit
between
going
the
on
two
over
of them,
there.
man.
I am disappointed in you guys. I thought you guys would learn your lesson from last year.
What's that lesson?
So let me get
Well,
this
not
straight.
you because you weren't a part of the predictions.
What
but-
about
Dehls,
me?
Dehls.
What about me?
So we don't have them in the playoffs
You've thrown
last
your
year,
respect
right?
on my name
The
before.
Minnesota.
Oh,
they
oh,
make
okay.
the playoffs this year. Now we put them the 3 seed, and we're
too
still
low.
disrespect. It's too low.
Well,
we can't win.
Without Gobert, they were making a jump anyway. With Gobert, yeah, they're the best team in the West.
But they cannot. The best team in the West can still not be a number 1 seed. You do know
Well,
that,
I'm talking
right?
about best team in the West seeding wise. Yes. They
Oh,
are.
okay. Well, I mean, I have them 3.
That's what they are.
You have them 1.
Let me ask you: do you have them over the Clippers solely for the fact that Kawhi and Paul George are going to load manage?
Yeah, but I think that regular season wise, I trust the Timberwolves a lot. I do.
So let me say, if Kawhi does what Riv is hoping that he does and plays 65 games, which if not happening,
I know.
but let's say he plays 65 games, Clippers aren't the number 1 seed.
Well, they could be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I don't have them as
Why
the
do we
number
act
1
like
seed.
D'Lo and Cat always play too?
That's facts. Cat plays. I mean, he missed 1 week because of COVID this year. What?
No,
right?
but
Am I
the
wrong?
season before he's been hurt.
Let me not say 1 week.
Why do we do that?
Cat's only been really hurt 1 year.
Oh, it's like 2.
No, it hasn't been actually.
So
No.
you think? I mean, this isn't a finals. What's it
Dude,
called?
he played 74
projection.
games.
But would you take
about
the?
the
This
years
is
before that?
okay. 2015 to 2018, Cat played 82, 82, 82, 77. 2019, 35. 2020, he played 50 games. Bless you. And 2021, he played 74.
So it's just D'Lo.
So I mean, we knew you were in that Timberwolves.
And they had Jordan McLaughlin.
Okay.
What do you mean? He's a good player.
I mean, come on, for
It's-
first
it's-
long
it's about
stretch. I mean,
Cat.
yeah, okay, they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
So you're taking the T-Wolves to be the
Yeah,
the
let's
face of the
get
West?
into it. Let's
Like
get into
you're
it.
taking the Timberwolves to come
No,
out of
no.
the Western Conference, get past the Warriors, Clippers,
Let's get
Nuggets,
into it.
whoever it
Talking
has
about
to
the
be.
finals. I don't know.
Contender,
Yes.
contender
And
tiers.
it all matters about matchups in the playoffs.
No.
I know, but that's
No,
what I'm
no,
saying.
no.
Like these,
No.
I think we see top 4
No, no, no,
teams.
no, no,
The
no.
Timberwolves, but you got the Clippers,
Dehls,
you got the Warriors,
Dehls.
and you got
Don't let 'em-
you
don't
got
let
the
'em-
Nuggets.
you don't know how to
so
act. Don't let 'em get
matchup
off
to
the hook.
matchup. Who do you
Talk,
got?
yeah, ask,
Wait, who?
answer.
Matchup to Nugget. Excuse me. Timberwolves Nuggets. Who do you got?
Go ahead.
That's very tough. My goodness.
Yeah,
That's tough.
the Nuggets.
You know what? I think just for the sake of experience, I would take Denver. I think
If it's experience, how many teams Minnesota is really beating? If you're just going off experience,
I know, but I like Denver a lot. I really do. I think that this could be their year.
we all
Okay.
like Denver.
To win the championship.
Timberwolves Clippers.
T-Wolves.
What the?
Why?
He just contradicted himself.
Crazy.
No.
You have to.
I'm not taking the T-Wolves because of experience. I'm taking it because I think they're just a better team. It's a bad matchup. For the Clippers.
No. First of all, no. You just looked at Denver and said, off experience
But you
alone.
just told me
Well,
that
I
the Clippers have the
think
best roster in the NBA.
They do, but we have to see them, right?
We have to see the
I-
Timbs.
We have to
Don't
see
you
the
think-
Timbs. It's
What
facts.
the? We seen them in the playoffs last
And they
year.
choked.
But they
I
took
think-
a small
choked.
step last
I
year.
think this is the thing. This is kind of what irks me because the Clippers are very similar to the Nets in the West. Where
We 100% agree. Except they've made it to a conference finals, and the Nets have not.
Yeah, well, it was an easier path to that
Easier?
Western Conference Finals.
Played
Easier.
the number 1 seed, and they played Luka,
What do you mean they played the Jazz, bro? The Jazz with the
number 1 seed.
The Nets
Jazz.
played the Celtics with Evan
And they
Fournier
weren't,
as a
they
starter.
weren't frauds until that series.
The Jazz were number 1 seed.
The Nets they only won one series against the fraud-ass Celtics when they had Evan Fournier.
They lost to the champions.
They lost to the Bucks.
in 7.
And the Clippers lost to the Suns, who played the Bucks in the championship.
Yeah, but they took the Bucks to
Yeah,
7
but my
without
point
being
is,
healthy.
who has the Nets beat? They beat the fraudulent Celtics with Kemba Walker and Fournier.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but
And
they
Tatum.
lost to the
No
champions.
Jalen.
Like, let's not disregard that they lost to the
I mean,
NBA champions.
you just completely disregarded a number 1 seed. You literally
the
just
Jazz, bro.
But they weren't
the-
frauds
the-
until they lost to
We knew that the
Clippers.
perimeter defense was always suspect.
did that. Yeah, but they weren't frauds until the Clippers did that to
Did
them.
you pick the Clippers to win that series?
I don't
then
know.
If that's the
I have
case,
no
then
I
idea.
can't even
Yeah,
answer.
no.
I don't think he did. I don't know.
All right, last team though. Timberwolves or Warriors?
I'm going with the Wolves.
That's okay.
I'm not laughing because
Listen, you have to be consistent. If you have them as a 1 seed,
I just
you have
only
to be
laugh at your
saying like,
facial
I'm just saying the
expressions.
Clippers and the Nets, to me, they're very similar. And the Nets, everybody has question marks about them, but we all of a sudden think the Clippers are just going to be fine and make this deep playoff run. They haven't done it yet, and they've had more years together than
is there
KD and
is there
Kyrie
not
have
more
had in
questions
Brooklyn.
around the Nets
Wait.
between coaching, between not only Kyrie's injury, but
I feel
all
like
the shit
there's-
off
I
the
feel
court
like
between
there's similar
Ben Simmons.
I think the questions around the Nets and the Clippers are different. I think around the Nets, it is more so coaching. It is more so rim protection and having a center. With the Clippers, it's Paul George's health, Kawhi's health, John Wall. How is he going to look after not playing for 2 years? I mean, that's
fair.
a good thing.
How have the Clippers had more years than the Nets?
Kawhi and PG have been together longer.
No, they have not.
Yes, they have.
They got together in 2020, the same year Kevin Durant and Kyrie got together.
That first year with Brooklyn, what happened?
But last year, Kawhi and PG didn't play together. It's the same concept.
But PG played.
Yeah, but Kawhi didn't.
PG played though.
But Kawhi didn't.
I know.
So the duo, and they've been farther than the Nets.
But they've had more time together in the fact that, okay, 2020 they got together.
They choked.
PG and Kawhi choked in a bubble.
Yes.
The Nets did not have KD for the entire year.
Same thing with last year. You have to
In
put that into account last year.
In 2021,
They both
while
were together.
KD and Kyrie were together, they weren't technically together because Kyrie got hurt, and then Harden got hurt.
21?
2021, yeah, the year after the bubble.
Oh, right. But
Yeah.
they played in the playoffs together.
Yeah, but Kawhi and PG played in playoffs together too.
Kawhi got hurt. Same thing
Yes.
with Kyrie.
And then this past season,
Kawhi got hurt.
Kyrie wasn't really on the team.
Yeah, but Kawhi got hurt. Same thing with KD. He didn't play. Both duos haven't played as much together as we think they have. They played the same amount.
I'm willing to bet that Kawhi and PG have played more games together than Kyrie and KD.
Maybe.
No, that's-
oh, yeah.
that's for sure.
Maybe, but it ain't been a significant amount. And even if it is, the Clippers have actually made it to a conference finals.
Yeah, I think that's also due to the Clippers have a very good roster. They have depth.
Yeah, that's what. Then that goes back to
This past season without Kyrie, there was a point in time where the Nets were starting rookies with
Oh yeah, that's,
KD.
Oh, yeah.
That roster
It was
Kessler was out
it
there.
was KD, Kessler, Day'Ron Sharp, Cam Thomas.
Oh, yeah, that
like,
roster
come
was
on.
good lineups. There's
Like
some
at
good
least with the
lineups for sure.
Clippers, it's
That roster.
at least with the Clippers, if Kawhi's not out there, it's Zubac, it's
facts.
Marcus
Batum,
Morris, yeah.
it's like
that's
they
one thing-
have good players.
That's one thing
Yo.
you could definitely say.
It's not that many. Kawhi and Paul George have only played 80 games together, where Kyrie and KD have only played 44 games
Yeah,
together.
it's not
So
like-
half the time, basically.
Yeah, both of them ain't played
Yo,
a
that's
ton of games.
crazy.
So what happens if we just go back to the Timberwolves discussion when these teams go small, when the Warriors, Clippers, Nuggets, when
I
these
really
teams go
don't
small,
think-
what happens with Gobert?
I really don't think that matters much. Like I
You
think
just said the whole thing is matchups.
yes, but it doesn't matter to me because the reason why Gobert, one, he didn't get played off the court. They exposed the Jazz's perimeter defense. If the Timberwolves have good perimeter defenders, which they do, Gobert will be fine on the second level. Like, he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine.
are they going to be able to run lineups with Cat and Gobert when they play the Warriors?
But
like
Chris Finch has already said
I don't
that
know.
they're trying to have 44 minutes of all NBA caliber centers. Like,
Hey man, if you want to trust Chris Finch over Steve Kerr, go ahead.